All right. Good morning. Good morning. Coffee in this morning, October 12th, Sunday. Sunday, October 12th. Good morning, everybody. Especially you guys on Rewind that only see the actual first part of the video. People that come live, catch me a couple minutes in or so. Well, let's see what we got going on. Yeah. Instagram live. That's back playing nice. So we like that. Guys, pop in the chat. Let me know how you doing on a scale of 1 to 10. Happy Sunday. Good morning, Jubal. Good to see you, buddy. Day 290 today. Unreal. Done in airports. Haven't done it in a moving vehicle yet. I've been fortunate, but we have kept it a priority to go every morning, and a very, very close priority of 8 a.m. Eastern. So so that people have some consistency. They know we're going to be here, right, Wendy? Yeah. Good morning. Yeah. We got George Ross over anchoring the Instagram feed down for us this morning. Tags, building and remodeling. Yeah. How you guys doing? Pop in the chat. Let me know. 3 or 4 people on here. Bursting at the seams this morning. Yeah, we went out to what we call Pine Point yesterday afternoon. Hung out on the beach for a while. Chilled out. No, we like it this time of year because the tourists are gone. See you later. Pretty much. Just local people. We just hang out. So watch the sunset. This time of year, the sun kind of comes around a little bit, so you actually can see it set. Normally, it's kind of behind you. So Rachel's a 10 this morning. All right, Bruce beat the Cubs to move on. Perfect. Yeah, I haven't been watching this year. I haven't really. Kind of comes and goes for me. I guess I'm probably a fair weather baseball fan. I was certainly a Red Sox fan, but I don't know. It takes a ton of time for me to watch or even follow. So, but I remember back in 03 when Aaron Boone hit the home run off Pedro Martinez to crush our dreams, and then next year 04 when we broke the curse. So, happy Sunday, Dave Davis. Wendy says, I'm a 9.7. Who wouldn't be after our awesome date night? Well, look at that. I guess we did all right then. Yeah. Dave's pool table service is here. Yeah. Dave, I still can't interest you in this little bantam table I've got, can I? Good little thing for the grandkids, Dave. Yeah. I'll give you a smoking deal on it. Yeah. Well, 8 a.m. fire. Tags, building and remodeling says. Well, hey, let's get into it a little bit here, huh? Let's talk about some stuff. We have been talking about mental models that change the way you lead and sell. And you guys may or may not have heard this. I think I've talked about it at least once, maybe even recently, about the 80-20 principle, Pareto's law, or the Pareto principle. Here's the truth, right? Not everything you do matters equally. Simple enough, right? Simple enough. Sometimes we're barking up the wrong tree, so to speak. 80% of your results usually come from just 20% of your actions. There you go. It's been great, guys. Have a good day. We'll see you Monday. No, that's not it. That's called the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule, 80-20 law, whatever you want to call it. Once you see it, it's hard to unsee it. Okay, success isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters most, the things that matter most. Okay. Some people don't want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Yeah. So, I realized when I was doing contracting that a handful of clients, maybe 20%, produced 80% of the profit. Okay. And maybe it's a certain type of client. Maybe it's not these specific clients, right? But I was spending equal time on the 80% that created stress and little return. So, one of the things that I've talked about with Steve a bunch of times is ranking or rating your clients A, B, C, D, and then literally fire the D's, go market to the A's and the B's. Pretty simple, right? Yeah. So I mean, even in like the live 365, this thing, like, hey, you know, every day is not awesome, right? Like sometimes it's just the content might not be for you, whatever. Um, over the course of now coming into the 29th 10-day series, or going stepping into the 30th, I realize what lands better, what people want to talk about, what both they want to hear about, right? So we kind of focus on that, right? The key is learning to identify and double down on the 20% that actually moves the needle. Okay. Sometimes there's 6 people here, sometimes there's 20 people here. Try to figure out and look across, kind of what lands. So, anyway, busyness and productivity aren't the same thing. Okay. Not everything matters equally. Most people spend their best energy on low value assets, emails, minor details, or the comfortable stuff, right? Matt Tolman. I like that. Rank your clients. Yeah, I can't take credit for that. I think Steve shared that with me. Jess Novak is here. Good to see you. Rachel said referrals certainly come from the 20% of connections. Yeah, those people are your referrals. You right? Yeah. Yeah. And you built it. So we all come. Yeah, absolutely. We have fun, don't we? Yeah. So identify that 20% though, right? What tasks, clients, relationships, or habits generate the most impact, revenue, or joy? Like, don't we all want to be happy doing what we're doing? I don't want to wrestle with that bottom tier client all the time, right? Start tracking where your time goes. And you got to find that 80-20 pattern fast. Okay. Eliminate or delegate 80%. Whoa, 80%, right? Oh, more coffee. Good morning, Peter. Good to see you, buddy. Getting chilly here in Maine, isn't it? I love it. A little frost on the pumpkin, not quite yet, but it's sweatshirt weather. As my friend Pete Finkel says, shorts and mittens time of year, right? Guys, eliminate that 80%. If it doesn't move the needle, it move you closer to your goal. Either automate it, delegate it, or delete it. Simple as that, right? Yeah, sure, Bob. Really easy. But work toward that. It's not about laziness or about deflecting work. It's about leverage, okay? Keeping you on that 20% that moves the needle, okay? And protect that 20% with boundaries. Don't let distractions steal your time from the high value work. This is what I'm doing today. This is what I got going on. Create focus blocks where you can work on the things that matter most. Okay? Like what would it look like if you protected a couple of hours every morning? All right? Just for focus, just to take care of the things that matter most. Sales follow-ups or the things that move the needle. Yeah, Pete, we do have a good time. Right? Not get caught up in the chaos, right? And like you can apply this 80-20 principle everywhere. Leadership, okay? 20% of your people are going to drive 80% of your results. Invest in those guys. In sales, 20% of your customers are going to produce 80% of your sales. Serve them deeply. And then personally, on the personal side, 20% of habits shape 80% of your health and peace. We're getting rid of, people that drag us down, people that say negative things to us. We're spending more time with people that challenge us or don't buy our BS, aren't going to listen to your excuses, that kind of stuff, right? So let me see how things are on Instagram. Clip over there. Yeah, George, still there. George, don't go anywhere. You're the only one. So you guys that have a business, what's the 20% in your business that produces most of your results? Okay. Or in life, what is the 20% of what you're doing in life that's producing 80% of your happiness? Yeah. What's one thing you're doing daily that doesn't actually move the needle? What's one thing that needs to go? I made coffee this morning instead of the Keurig. Got a bag of that Tim Hortons coffee. Damn, it was good stuff. I like that. I'm gonna get more of it. I think someone brought it to our weekend at camp and left it, and and I've been enjoying it. So, how about this, guys? If you eliminated just one low value activity this week, what kind of time would that free up? And then what could you do with that? One of my clients was spending 5-6 hours a week just selflessly helping others in another group. And I said to him, that's 300 hours a year, 7.5 work weeks that you're donating to something that does not move the needle for you personally or professionally. So think about where you spend your time. Add that stuff up. A couple of hours a week is 104 a year, 2.5 weeks over the course of the year. So think about it. It makes an impact, right? It adds up. So don't work harder, work sharper. We're up here in the Northeast. Don't work harder, work sharper, right? Um, success isn't about narrowing your focus, right? Excuse me. It is about narrowing your focus. Need more coffee. It's not about widening your schedule. I'll do that. Yeah, throw it on my schedule. Get on my calendar. Something I did this week for the first time because I've been extremely busy is and people have access to my calendar, which is great. You can jump on my calendar. But when I had a calls back to back to back in the morning, I went in and I just blocked out the afternoon. It didn't mean I wasn't working. It just means it's not visible on my calendar. Or someone that I'm working with or that might have my calendar looks and says, "Oh, Bob's not taking calls at that time." Right? And like I said, it doesn't mean you're not working. It just means that you're just kind of taking control of your time, setting up some boundaries, right? Um, Rachel says, great challenge. Replace one low value activity with one that moves the needle. Love it. What's it going to be, Rachel? Think about it. Got to do it, right? Yeah. All right. Here's another one. Do an 80-20 audit this week. And this is kind of with that, Rachel. Okay. Identify your top 3 highest impact actions and commit to doing more of them better. Okay. Just find those high impact actions. Okay. The things that move the needle. Let's do that. And you do have a choice about how you spend your time. If you don't, you just need to do a full-time audit, right? And see where that time's going. So, yeah, Wendy says get your tickets for the Mid-South Pond retreat right there at that link. I call it Bubba Palooza. We're going to be in Memphis, the Memphis area. What is it? Stanton, Tennessee. Yeah, here she comes with the links, guys. Don't count her out. She's there. I think I'm getting a cold. So anyway, it's that time of year. Yeah, commit to identifying those 3 high impact activities, guys. Check them out. Do more of that. Do more of what works. Do more of what moves the needle for you. Do the 20%. Okay, that gets you 80% of the results. They're there. Focus on them, and they're there in relationships too. That you've got your 20%ers, and maybe that's your 5, right? And they say that you're the average of the 5 people, right, that you hang out with or spend the most time with. They're there. The other ones, it doesn't, like I've said in the past, it doesn't mean you call them up and say, yeah, hey, Johnny, we ain't friends no more. No, we're not doing that. It just might mean that you're not going to the bowling night or dart league or, the every Sunday day drinking thing that a lot of people are doing. You're working smarter. You're getting sharper all the time. Okay. Sunday, it's a good day to think about that. Okay. Yeah. And we love JobTread here. JobTread is a construction management software that I'm personally responsible for getting off the ground back when I purchased a membership 4 or 5 years ago. And that catapulted them to 8,000 clients. Oh, shit. I'm kidding. So great people, Eric Fortenberry and his team. They've worked really, really hard at bringing a great construction management software to the table and kicking your ass on co-construct and Builder Trend, in my estimation. They have a boot camp, and it's November 13th, 14th, I believe. So check out the link. If you want to learn how to use the software better, you can do that. They also have a great conference in January we will be at. You can get your ticket there. Steve Rosenberg is going to speak at both of those. So we're sponsoring the Job Tread boot camp. Steve will be speaking there, but we're also a sponsor at the Job Tread Connect event in January, and Steve will be speaking twice there. So if you guys want to hang out, we'll be at both. I'm still working out how to get to the Job Tread thing because we have Bubba's thing as well, but Steve will definitely be at both. So thanks, Dave. Appreciate you. Even better day coming tomorrow. Yeah, well, looks like we got a little rain this week, but that's okay. So Dave Davis says, I realized last week that I spend all my time in the business and almost none on it. I had a gut shot at the kitchen sink when I saw that all I was doing was making payroll. That was an eye opener. Yeah, and we're working on that, Dave. Dave's a member of our coaching group inside the Rosenberg community, so investing in himself and going to get better at that. He's only been in the group a few months, and we literally call him the guy in the truck, right, Dave? And because when he jumps on the calls, he's wearing a seatbelt. So that tells us we need to get him out of his truck, get him working on his business instead of in the business. Easier said than done, right? We got to put things in place. Sometimes you just got to grind for a bit, right? To get to a point where you can do that and add somebody and then add the right person, right? So and we've all been there. If you kind of bootstrapped something or started it from scratch, that's the day. Those are the days you look back on and go, yeah, I was willing to do what others weren't. Okay, seatbelt Dave, according to Bubba. But we're gonna destroy that. Seatbelt Dave. Well, you know people love you when they give you a nickname, right? Oh, seatbelt Dave. I don't know where Bubba is this morning. Where the heck's Touring Man anyway? He posted something yesterday, and Dan Bennett gave him a hard time. He said, "We have a face." There's George over there on Instagram. Yeah, we have a good time here. We poke a little fun at one another and in a good way. And like I told Steve when I started working for him, I said, I just want to build community, right? And I guess I'm probably one of the best description of me is just gatherer of people and give people a place to hang out and be themselves and not worry about somebody being a jerk or raining on your parade. So, guys, if you're having trouble with your social media or you just want to get better at how you post or what your content is, check out Bailey's, what is it called? 21 Digital. She is doing big things in Dallas, and she's working with her friend Abby, and they've created this movement, I guess you'd call it, called Datey, Datey, _Datey on Instagram, and they're putting on these events where they're kind of their tagline, I think, is tired of the apps, the dating apps, to get together in person, where they're bringing people together. They give them we've got a lot of these guys that have these little bracelets like this, right, that have a line on. This one says "Live Like Jet." They've got red ones, and so they go to an event and they pass out a red bracelet, and so if you're interested in maybe going on a date or meeting and talking with somebody, but they just bought out a whole section at the Dallas Mavericks game, so they're doing an event right at the Dallas I go, you guys bought a whole section? She goes, yeah. Holy shit. And they've done events where there's been like 1,500 1,900 people, and Bailey's helping her with the content for all of that. So it's pretty cool. So Wendy, we got to get that link up here for the Datey as well. Make sure we support Abby and Bailey in that. They're in Dallas, but hey, I've told her there's something that's scalable, so take it and run with it. So Davis says, I'm believing that. Thanks. These calls are great for 6 a.m. wake ups. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, because you're Denver, right? You're in Mountain Time, so we'll get you going. Speaking of the Daily Sales Accelerator, if you want to join us, we are offering a 7-day free trial for that. After that, you gotta come Coco. You gotta join us. You gotta pony up a few bucks, but get in there. We've got guys like Richard Nordheim laying down some nuggets, and Bubba's in there teaching sales. I run the calls. This week, Steve jumped on a couple of times, and it was great. So we do role plays on Thursdays, open coaching on Friday, mindset on Mondays. We talk about how to handle objections on Tuesdays, and then how to increase your revenue on Wednesdays. So our next two-day summit, it's going to be in December. So check that out. We also have our ground school event in December, and that's for our en route clients inside the Rosenberg Group. So we come together quarterly in Houston. So if you end up joining the coaching program, you get 4 focused workshop. I'll call them weekends, but they're a Monday, Tuesday. We call them ground school. So quarterly we do. Well, Q1 is marketing. Q2 is sales. Q3 is processes and systems and scaling. Q4, which is the one coming up in December, all about leadership. So if you're struggling with leadership, you think you need to get better at that, then let's get on the phone. Let's talk about how we can get you enrolled in the program, and you can come to the December ground school. So I've got a couple of discovery calls lined up this week, actually. So like the event and people kind of starts to create a little bit of awareness, right? People go, "What are you guys doing over there? What's that Mach 5 thing?" And so talking with a couple of people about what the coaching community looks like, and whether they want to be a part of it, what the cost is, all that stuff, what comes with it. So we want to make sure that we get as many people involved as we can. So there's Bailey's link right there. Check it out. She's doing great things. I love to chat with her because she tells me about the datey stuff, and then I was like, "Hey, any new clients?" And so she's got the entrepreneurship bug. So I've ruined her life. Like my dad ruined mine with my little lawn mowing business when I was a kid. Just kidding. Oh, shoot. I think you got to make your own way, though, today, guys, don't you? I mean, you got George Ross over there doing it. He's a young guy. Good morning, Stacy Simino. How are you, kid? Good to see you. It is a good morning. Yeah, I think you got to make your own way today, guys. So you got to have a kind of a side hustle. You got to be doing your thing. Mark Bunker is here from St. Martin. Good to see you, buddy. See guys on the plane yesterday. I like getting pictures of people taking off on their trips. They'll send them to me, say heading out. And it's just cool. It's just cool to see people being able to do that kind of stuff. So invest in the youth, Tony says. Yeah, right. Get the youngsters going. So, yeah, good to see you, Tony. Appreciate you being here. So, yeah, Sunday, what are you guys doing today? I think we got something really exciting planned today. We might clean. We clean together because number one, it sucks. Number two, just divide and conquer, so get it done. And number three, when you have a dog that sheds, that's rough. So, and then they walk all over the floor after you mop it and all that stuff. So it's a good time. So we had our HOA meeting here yesterday, right smack in the middle of the day. And that was all right. We got through that. Nothing new to report. Off and running. Let's go. So Pat Johnson says, in the office this morning. Good to see you, Pat. Doing a couple of little things. Yeah, 104 weekend days in a year, right, baby? Move the needle. Spend a couple hours. Spend a little time making sure your week's going to go well. So doesn't have to be the whole day. Sometimes when I'm not, it's early, I'll tell Wendy I'm going to get up and work on world domination. That's my quiet time. And I can, not that it's crazy around here, but I mean, it's the time where I can really get focused. I get the most creative. And then Sundays for me, sometimes we just kind of sit back and chill and work on some things that maybe I don't. Once the week starts, once the cat's out of the bag Monday morning, we're off and running, and I'm not always able to get something else squeezed in. Yeah, Rachel cleaned yesterday. Red church, hang with family. Good deal. Pinky in the brain. I don't know what you're talking about, Tony. Good morning, Dan Bennett. We were just talking about you. What was I saying about Dan? Other than that, he's a great guy. Can't remember, Dan, but your name came up. Good to see you, buddy. We started at 8, Dan. Get here. Listen, I'm not going to take the excuses any longer. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, good fall day. We're getting the foliage now. It's actually a good day to go up on Mount Washington, but maybe No, we're not doing that. Mark said, because of you and powerful business groups make trips like these possible. And we thank you all for it. That's awesome, Mark. And you're doing the work. So Tony says, I'll send it to you. You'll know it shortly. All right. Yeah, good deal. So, yeah, anyway, guys, move the needle today. Work on the 20% that drives the 80. Okay. We've been talking, guys that just jumped in. We're talking about that 80-20 principle, Pareto's law, whatever you want to call it, right? Where 20% of your clients are going to create 80% of your revenue. Focus on the 20 that don't create stress, that don't create havoc, that don't create chaos. Let those other guys have the other 80. Okay. So it's not about niching down. It's just about getting a little bit more focused. Okay. Identifying your 20%, what tasks and clients and relationships generate the most impact, revenue, and joy. Okay. And then just eliminate that other 80. Bye-bye. Take care. Have some boundaries on the 20. This is what I'm working on. This is where I need to stay. Okay. And in leadership, 20% of the people drive 80% of the results. Invest in those people. Okay. Sales, 20% of your customers drive 80% of your sales. Serve them well. Okay. On the personal side, 20% of your habits are going to shape 80% of your health and peace. So focus on that. Anyway, guys, just a little recap there for you. Tomorrow, Monday, the 13th. Holy crap, almost halfway through October. We're going to talk about the feedback loop, how to turn reflection and repetition into mastery. Okay. Ninja style. Okay. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Have a great day. Share this out if you don't mind. A couple people shared it yesterday. I'm grateful. Pete, I know Pete was one. I don't know if Tony was another. Somebody, I'll get a notification when somebody shares it. So, guys, help me out. See if we can get 5 people to share this today. Maybe we get some new people to show up tomorrow, and we keep building the community. All right. Don't forget to join the Summit Facebook group or invite all your friends to the Summit Facebook group. That's still alive and kicking, leaving that community in place. Pat, have a great day. I appreciate you. Pat, make sure you wear orange, okay? It's that time of year. We don't want you getting hit, right? Oh, shit. All right, guys. Love you all. Take care. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Later.